Hey everybody, it's the week of the Houston tragedy and Hurricane Harvey, and I've been talking to a lot of friends of mine that are in Houston who literally lost everything in their lives. People that I've known since childhood, people I've met in the oil industry, just people that are in the fitness business. And Houston is a major metropolitan city, a lot of beautiful places there, restaurants, places to visit, incredible gyms, and it was just destroyed. I talked to a friend of mine today, George Silguero from Corpus Christi, who said parts of the town was just absolutely devastated. And what I wanted to talk tonight about was so many guys call me, so many different people call me, talk to me online, and they're concerned about the vanity aspects of looking good and feeling good. And I wanted to say, in the wake of Rich Piana's unfortunate and untimely death, and Dallas McCarver's untimely death in the world of bodybuilding, that the dangers and the perils that are out there that loom in this sport is crazy. And not many people want to really talk about it. I was in the sport 30 years ago. I loved it. I took steroids. I had a good time. That is what you have to do to compete with the big boys. You have to get on steroids. You got to take all the products that are, getting these guys bigger and bigger and climbing to higher heights to get bigger, to go further in contests, to be accepted by a bunch of judges and people out there that could give a damn about these guys and these girls' health, because it's easy come, easy go. They don't give a damn who you are. They don't care. It's just about ego. They're always going to build you up, and I'm mad about it because I think, a lot of people bashed Rich Piana. And really, if you listen to the cat talk, he had a lot of insight. He told you exactly what he said from the heart. He said, I took steroids. You have to take a lot of steroids to get in this sport. Even if you're not big, you have to take steroids to see exactly where your gene pool is going to take you. If you're demonstrative enough, if you have the conviction and the dedication, because it takes a lot of dedication, it takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of eating day in and day out, and a tireless life where you lose relationships, you lose yourself in thought day after day, to be a slave to the gym, to a world of eating endless meals. And it's an arduous, tough life, and all of a sudden you get caught up in it. I've seen so many beautiful women get caught up in it and end up looking horrible at the end of it all, and then they've taxed their thyroids, they've burned their thyroids out, just like guys. I could show you 10 Mr. Americas that look worse than guys that are 50 pounds overweight now, or they're dead, because they didn't stop. There was no ceiling on what they wanted to do with steroids. I got lucky 30 years ago. I was taking steroids. I went to smoke pot one night. I'm telling you guys this from the heart because I want you to know what I went through, that I'm lucky enough to be here at 62 years of age. I was a track athlete. I didn't give a damn about drinking, smoking pot, doing drugs ever in my life. Never even thought about it in high school because I was pure. Track and field was my ambition. It's what I wanted to do in my life, be the world's greatest decathlete, and on and on and on. And I got into a contest, and lo and behold, my brother said, go into this contest in Florida, and I became Mr. Southern America, and I was off and running Foxy Denham. My brother, a lot of people tried to tell me at that point, well, wait a minute, you don't really want to go out to California. It was just a thing for you to do. But my ego took me out to California. Not that it's a bad place. It's a land of opportunity. But I went out there, and I persisted, and I won 6 and 7 shows, and I thought, man, this is it. I've made the big time. I got into music videos. I started modeling clothes, and it was all about me. The mirror served me 24 hours a day. And you become heartless after a while. You become cold because it's a bit of vanity that goes a long way, and it's 24 hours a day circumvented around you. And what happens is you will take anything, almost anything. I knew guys that have taken anything and everything to get where they were, only now they're dead. And you got guys like Rich Piana that tried to educate people and say, absolutely, you can go to the top, but guess what? You got to take a hell of a lot of steroids. You got to take them day after day, week after week, year after year. You got to eat unbelievable amounts of food. Guys end up, I don't know if you know it, I got Dr. Cockerham, who's a very good friend of mine, Dr. Alan Johnson, who's a good friend of mine, Jeff Ostreicher, who's a cardiologist out in California, and they say a lot of these guys, even the girls now, are dying of sleep apnea. Read about them, years later having heart attacks. They get sleep apnea because you get so big in your chest, you get so huge after a while, you eat so many amounts of food that all of a sudden you've gained 40, 50, 60, 70, 100 pounds in some instances. And guess what? You don't sleep worth a damn at night. I've just started sleeping better recently at 62 because I lost weight after all these years. And let me tell you, about a year and a half ago, I thought, maybe I'll get back into it. I look good. I started lifting weights after I got back to Louisiana instead of playing golf for years out in California, living a life of Riley after I got out of bodybuilding. I came back here, I saw all my old buddies, and I said, I'm going to go to the gym with them. Louisiana has just has a plethora of good-looking, built cats. And girls in fitness. I don't know what it is in the water back here, but we have incredible athletes, people with incredible builds. Their gene pools run so deep, it's off the charts what young kids look like nowadays. But unfortunately, what serves us wrong is that, especially on Facebook, social media out there, and I'm talking to the young people especially, they think I'm on gear. Or they think you're on steroids because you have a little bit of vascularity, you got a little bit of muscle, because they haven't been there yet. They haven't experienced 4 or 5 years of bodybuilding. They don't know what it takes. They don't know the dedication, the lousy damn diets, the amounts of money that you spend day in and day out. For what? For what? To go into a damn contest and win a trophy? Because there's only 1 or 2 Phil Heaths. There's 1 or 2 Kai Greens out there. There's guys that are great out there, and they're never going to make a dime in the damn sport. If they're winning $25,000 to $50,000, in a contest, guess what? That's spent. That's already spent on drugs. And if they're not fortunate enough to get a person who's going to endorse them, a person who's going to sponsor them, like a company, EAS, whoever it is, Twin Labs, whatever it is, whatever the new ones are out there, GNC, Vitamin Shops, Nutrisports, whatever, they have them out there, and the sport has increased, but I wouldn't even call it a sport. I'd almost call it a sideshow, and that's not a detraction of the bodybuilders, because these guys and girls pour out their hearts and souls, they bust their asses, and they try to get in shape, and they're in incredible shape. The people that I witness nowadays, I'm glad I'm not in the bodybuilding arena anymore, because I couldn't stand next to half of these guys that are out there. I'm 62 years of age. I want a good quality of life. And the people that I train, and I train hundreds of people from all over the world now. I'm all over Facebook, and I train people with the intent of giving them a good quality of life and making a difference in their lives. And I promise you, the best thing that Jim Mannion has done for me personally out of bodybuilding is that he has geared it down to, you have natural bodybuilding, you have men's physique, and I think that's going to take bodybuilding over and by storm, because to me it's more amongst everybody likes it. Everybody likes a good looking physique, streamlined, not the big, huge, bulky, and they know what it entails. It entails a hell of a lot of drugs, and that's just the way it is. You can say it doesn't, but that's bullshit. It takes a hell of a lot of drugs out there to do what they're doing. Half of the crap's black market. Half of these people don't know what they're getting out there. I promise you, I implore you. I had an old girlfriend. She had a boyfriend. They got crap off the internet from China, like they have a damn sanction on their products. They said it was IGF. They sold him insulin. 10 hours later, he was dead. He was a 37-year-old engineer who made $140,000 a year in the prime of his life. For what? This is what I tell kids all the time. 5 or 10 pounds of muscle, half of it's water, half of it's maybe muscle. Realistically, Arthur Jones did a test on Casey Vitter years ago, and they said realistically in 1 calendar year, you really can only gain physiologically 10 to 12 pounds of muscle. I mean, 10 to 12 pounds of muscle. Remember, it's all about an illusion. Sean Ray, an incredible bodybuilder. Flex Wheeler, an astounding bodybuilder. Aaron Baker, incredible bodybuilders. You know, these guys. Francis Benoit. I mean, you look at these guys, Google them. They had incredible builds. They weren't heavy bodybuilders, but their aesthetics, their lines were so unimaginably perfect that you can't even imagine it. And yet, you know, Flex had his problems with steroids, and he went on kidney dialysis. I believe he had a kidney transplant. Thank God he's alive, and he's gotten, you know, a lot smarter about his bodybuilding. He's going into the natural physique look. You know, he's toned it down a lot. Still, it's tough to do at 52, 53 years of age. It's tough. It's admirable. The guy has an incredible physique, one of the best of all times, but still, there's perils that are out there. And if you're on the internet, if you're out there trying to get black market steroids, and I'm not sour, let me tell you, I'd love to be back on steroids. I'd love to lie to you and tell you I don't want to look good, I don't want to feel good, because who the hell wants to get old? But you know what? It's just a fact of life. So I'm happy where I'm at. That's just life. I have a 10-year-old daughter. I have 2 other daughters. I have 5 grandkids, another one on the way. I have a great girlfriend, fiance, and my life is great. I'm not a rich man, but I'm a happy man. And I've learned what the true quality of life is. You can have an astounding build. You guys want to know how to get a good build out there? Find a real good trainer out there. And if you don't, you can find me. You got women trainers that are unbelievable. It's not that hard to get you in great shape in 90 days. In 180 days, I've seen people absolutely transform their lives and look phenomenal. And that's what it's about. A quality of life. Going to bed, getting up, and feeling great, feeling energized. I promise you, half the times when I did steroids, I felt like hell. I felt like total shit. And I hate to curse, but I felt like crap half the time. I was bloated, I had edema, I had headaches, you know, I was going to the bathroom uncontrollably half the time. And you know, you walk around, you're in a mood half the time, you're angry because you're always hungry, your insulin spikes go up and down, up and down. So there's so many transitions that your body goes through that it's never been on that journey before. Look before you leap. You know, I'm mad because I think, God, Rich Piana had an incredible product that I take, you know, 5%. Dallas McCarver, I didn't know the guy, but I heard he was a heck of a nice guy. There's so many guys that have died, you know, in the sport of bodybuilding. Google dead bodybuilders. I mean, there were guys that were studs that I knew that are not here any longer, that had incredible builds. And what did they do? You know, they took a crap load of steroids out there to please some fool with a pencil that was going to judge their life, you know, for a goddamn trophy. And I hate to sound like I'm bitter about it, but guess what? I'm not bitter. I wasn't as good as Flex Wheeler. I wasn't as good as Sean Ray, Aaron Baker, Jay Cutler. You know, I didn't have the drive that they have, but you know what? I didn't have the genetics they had. Those guys were incredible. Ronnie Coleman, off the charts. The guy's incredible. But you look at Ronnie, some of the injuries he's went through, you know, hey, he went through it. You know, nothing comes without a price. At least he's got his life, but he's one of the lucky ones. Jay Cutler's one of the bright ones, you know. Sean Ray, one of the smart ones that came out of it. You know, I'm glad Kevin Lerone saw his ways, and maybe he right his ways. I understand he's going to go into the Arnold Classic. I wish the guy the best. He's phenomenal. I've seen him in person. You know, Dorian Yates, another guy, you know, he's smart. He got out when he should have. Lee Haney, I mean, what can you say? He's a stud. But still, if you ask these guys, you ask a lot of the women that were in the sport, there's a price to pay in it. So, you know, what I want to convey to you guys now is, hey, I'm dealing with gathering clothes for kids to go to Houston, to give it to kids who have, you know, parents who have lost everything. There's so many more things important than looking and feeling good out of egoism. I mean, don't let the goddamn mirror be your guide. Let your conscience be your guide. You know what you're doing is right, and you know what you're doing is wrong. I'm not sitting here calling fault to anybody, but there's a hell of a lot of products that are on the market today that are a molecule or two away from steroids that don't predator your body. Don't take away from your own minerals. Don't destroy your insides on your body. Most of all, I talk to doctors every day who say, here's the hidden dangers about steroids. They thicken your blood. And over time, that's a recipe for a heart attack, for a stroke. Irregardless of how old you are, it can happen every day. Google dead bodybuilders. Don't take the chance with your life. If you're in this, like somebody said the other day, so many guys are on drugs to be so healthy. They eat perfect, but yet we take drugs to go facilitate a bunch of guys and girls that are up there judging us who could give a damn about whether we drop out. And Dallas McCarver, Rich Piana, they'll be mourned, they're gone, but it's like, next. And that's just a fact of life. I'm not sour against bodybuilding because I think it's going probably in the right way. With the guys and girls that are out there that are doing the natural physique, the board chart look, the fitness competitions, all of that. I think women have really brightened the sport of that world up of fitness and brought it into it. Listen, there's no better shape people than the people that are doing cross training. So, look before you leap. Watch what you take. Don't take a damn thing on the internet because it's cheaper, because you won't get caught. And if you do get caught, guess what? It's a felony. It's a felonious act that will land your ass in jail. So be smart about it. Look before you leap. Go find the great products that are on, that are on the market today. The vitamin shops, the GNCs. There's a lot of great places. NutriSports, Fit Blends. I got my buddy here over there. That is right over on the Airline Highway with Fit Blends. You can carry, Rich Piana's 5% and a lot of other great products in there. There's SARS in there that Tom Cockerham and Jay Manda told me about. Kenny Labatino, these guys take SARS. You don't have to take steroids. And they give you an unbelievable pump. Your recuperation is great. Your downtime is a lot less. And guess what? You sleep better without all the edema. And it's healthy. It's conducive to you having a better quality of life. So if you're young, think about it. Even think about some of the creatines that are out there, because I tried it 1.5 years ago. First time in my life. You can ask Christy, you can ask my kids. I had a temper. I felt like crap. I was always edgy. Sure, I went up to 258 pounds and I thought, wow, this is cool. I was fat as I looked like a chipmunk, at 258 pounds. And I thought, what am I doing this for? It's not the quality of life I want. I want to show people how to great quality of life, how you can live happy with an unbelievable build, without the high blood pressure, without kidney problems, without liver damage, without the heart problems. I can show you how to eat right and get in the best shape of your life in 90 to 180 days. You'll never look back in your life. That's what it's all about, living a good, healthy quality of life. I'm Greg Como. Hey, prayers out to all the people in Houston and the rest of the people that are still suffering from 1 year ago in the flood. You guys all across the planet here, give if you can to the people that are down there, because unless you've seen it, and I'm going next week to help out. I got 2 cousins that live there, and I got some really dear friends that are there that have suffered some tragedy there in their lives. So give, most of all, send your prayers, and most of all, be safe out there. Watch what you take. If you're going to bodybuild, be smart about it. Utilize the science of it first and understand emphatically that you matter most. Your health matters the most. Have a good quality of life. Stay healthy, everybody. Stop the racism. Stop the name calling on Facebook. Everybody try to love one another in spite of whoever we have in office, whoever it is we're fighting against one another. Learn to love one another. Hold hands. Smile at people. It'll break the walls down. I'm Greg Como. I'll see you guys soon. Thanks.